Welcome to Infor's virtual Food and Beverage Summit. My name is Eric Ostwald, Vice President and General Manager of Infor's North American Food and Beverage Business Unit. Our team has organized a series of sessions designed to showcase how Infor can drive enhanced value for your business, and this is based upon the foundation of us doing this for over 1,500 food and beverage clients across the globe. 2020 has been a real challenge, perhaps the understatement of the decade, with the recent quarter of business being the most volatile and uncertain we've seen in the last 30 years. This is exemplified by dramatic demand fluctuations and a whip-like effect across the food and beverage supply network. Channel mix has seen unprecedented changes, with a sharp decline in food service orders matched simultaneously with a substantial increase in retail demand. To add to the challenges, labor force absenteeism and new regulations on employee proximity, safety, cleaning protocols, and reporting creates new constraints to manage. So what can we learn from 2020? This year has shined a spotlight on the limitations that many companies face and has renewed a heightened interest by manufacturers seeking to make improvements both in technology and process. Our team will showcase how we can address these challenges. First, creating flexibility to sense demand and respond accordingly in your supply network. Second, enhancing productivity of your employees and physical assets. And third, creating transparency for consumers on the food and beverages that we make.
Hello, I am Marcel Cox, Industry and Solution Strategy Director for the food and beverage industry at Infor International. My colleague Mikael Bengtsson is doing the same thing for the Americas. We closely work together to define new use cases for the industry and also bring new solutions to market.
Our job is to make sure that the Infor solutions address the needs within the food and beverage industry and deliver value for our customers. Today we're going to talk about the trends we see within the industry and the challenges customers and companies in general face, and then how these challenges actually can be turned into opportunities and how technology can be used to create a competitive advantage in the market. And we have some really exciting examples of Infor customers who have used the Infor platform to optimize feeding, for really advanced planning, to increase savings, or predict maintenance to increase the food safety, and that's what we want to share with you here today.
This session is about the developments within the food and beverage industry. We see a lot of things going on. Lately we have seen some disruptive changes in the market, and what we also see that the agile companies are actually able to turn this into a competitive advantage. They are not only able to respond to this market change, but actually they can benefit from it by bringing new products to market, by quickly implement new ways of doing business with the customers, etc. What they all have in common is a digital platform, what they have already in place, so that they can implement quickly new ways of working.
So let's talk about what the typical challenges are within food and beverage. Something we see with our customers, but also in general within the food and beverage industry. So there are four main ones. There are of course more, but there are four that stand out right now. One is the need for innovation. 2, transparency. 3, food safety. And finally, margin pressure. So now let's look into these four challenge areas. And the first one was the innovation. And this is an area where we see consumers' preferences are changing all the time. So it could be plant-based protein or edible packaging, name it. They're changing non-stop. And the challenge here is really to be innovative and follow these latest trends and be efficient at the same time in the innovation and make sure all the rules and regulations are followed at the same time.
When you look at transparency, you can look at it in a simple way, like you should be able to show the origin of the ingredients to the consumer, which has to be printed on labels, but actually it's also about communication and a new generation of consumers. In the past, you had a phone number on the packaging, and when a consumer had a problem with the product, they called that number and said, well, I have a complaint. Today, they are not calling you. They post it on Facebook and ask their friends to like the post. So you have to watch this to protect your brand. It's really very important. But also when you do so, it can be a wealth of information available on social media that you can use to develop new initiatives like introducing new products to the market or new packaging. Well, food safety is also very important because it can be a huge risk to you as a business when you have a problem. We have seen some examples of companies with contamination problems within the factory and they had to shut down the complete factory, and that's really harming you as a company big time. It can even be that you go bankrupt because of that kind of problems. But today, you have to make sure that you avoid that kind of problems, but all that information can also be used as a competitive edge by having more accurate information about your production or what's happening within the supply chain, and based on that better predict what should be the shelf life of your product.
The final challenge area is the margin pressure. So we have e-commerce as a new channel. We have big retailers who are launching their own brands and competing with other food manufacturers. We have the ongoing challenge in the seasonal supply and demand. And all this together, even small changes, means that profits quickly can be undermined. Those are the four main challenge areas we see. However, this year there was a lot of change, and most people, or probably everybody, was caught off guard. Now, some were better prepared for the challenge in terms of processes and technology platform, and they had an easier time to adapt to the new situation. Now, what do we do to address these challenges? Well, actually, we need a new approach. There are many components that are needed, and they can all be summarized in what's called Industry 4.0. And moving in this direction, we will not only address the challenges we talked about, we will also set the foundation for the future that can increase the competitiveness of any company. Of course, in the day-to-day work life, there are sometimes more pressing matters than thinking about how to execute on the Industry 4.0 vision. Sometimes it's just about surviving. And if you feel like this, you're not alone. There are more people in that situation. But it's also important to start the planning towards the Industry 4.0. And when you do that, think about, where do I want to be in 10 years? Not just now, but where do I want to be in the future? And making sure that there is a technology platform in place that can be flexible and agile in the future. The Industry 4.0 is a big change, and there are great opportunities, but it can also feel scary at times. What yesterday felt like science fiction is very real today. So we have components like big data analysis with artificial intelligence and machine learning, augmented reality, precision farming. The benefits are huge though. The companies who are early on to adapt, they follow out the Industry 4.0 vision, are likely to be more competitive in the future.
One of the examples we have is, for instance, Mowi. Mowi is world leader in salmon farming and processing. They print a QR code on the packaging so that the consumer can scan that code and that way can see the origin of the salmon. Where is the salmon farmed and grown? And it's also a way of Mowi to have a direct communication with the consumers. So even when they deliver the product as a private label, they are still able to have a direct communication channel with their consumers. And actually, that way, they also retrieve point of sale information. They can actually see where is that product being sold to who, if they want. And it's a proactive way of using track and trace information they have already anyway, and have to have, because they should be able to do a complete recall within a matter of hours if they have a problem. So why not use that information also, let's say, in a way to be more transparent to consumers and get competitive advantage?
The game is always developing, and perhaps even more so today, where the speed of business is increasing every single day. So the winners in this new business dynamics, and the winners in terms of 1, surviving, and 2, thriving, are likely to be the companies who are able to adapt to the change, being agile, and having a plan for the future and a good foundation for the future. Like Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, said, in the new world, it's not the big fish that eats the small fish. It's the fast fish that eats the slow fish. There is quite a lot going on right now. There are many companies that will transform. It's a very exciting time.
Next, in this session, Patrick Sjöberg will present what has been developed lately, some great solutions for you, which you can benefit from, but also he will share with you the plans for the future.
Hi, I'm Patrick Sjöberg. I'm Senior Director and Product Manager for the Food and Beverage Solutions at Infor. I'm here today to take you through the CloudSuite Food and Beverage solution. Our solution is specifically designed to address the challenges and drivers for the food and beverage industry. We have assembled a solution which covers support for the food value chain, starting with procuring ingredients and packaging from farmers and suppliers, quality inspection of your purchased and manufactured goods, manage production operations across multiple plants, storing and distributing items across your warehouses, selling and shipping into your different sales channels such as food service, retailers and other food manufacturers. We have also assembled supporting capabilities for functions such as product development, planning your supply chain, marketing, sales and plant maintenance. We assist in assembling a solution that can address your unique needs for the short and for the long term. Therefore, the CloudSuite solution is offered as a base with optional modules. The core offering is made up by a common platform for user interface, workflow collaboration, document management, extensibility, etc. The core ERP, a business intelligence-based platform including the food and beverage analytics containing hundreds of KPIs and measures exposed in dashboards and reports. The most commonly selected add-ons includes FactorTrack, demand planning, production scheduling and planning, and the Graphical tracker. Let us begin with the core enterprise application ERP. This part of the solution covers processes across procurement, planning and manufacturing, quality inspection, warehouse management, sales and plant maintenance. Financial costing and management is closely integrated into the supply chain. We handle advanced costing models and methods for standard, average and actual costing, respecting catch rate and attributes. The solutions support localization capabilities for more than 50 countries. Industry-specific capabilities are robust with features such as catch rate, attributes and sublots built into the core of the solution. Innovation is critical to support a sustained and growing market share by offering a new and fresh choice to customers and consumers. As we know it, the number of product innovations per year continue to grow. PLM for Process is here to assist product development organizations to accelerate their innovation process through streamlined project management procedures, strong formulation capabilities allowing to roll up the cost as well as characteristics such as nutritional values, claims and allergens to automate the formulation process and provide input to generate compliant ingredient statements and labels. The supply chain planning suite offers a range of capabilities including demand forecasting with advanced statistical methods and possibilities to handle collaborative market intelligence inputs such as promotions. Supply chain planning respecting seasonal demand and supply as well as shelf life while optimizing plans on objectives such as profit, cost or service levels. Production scheduling and deciding the sequence of manufacturing orders to reduce changeovers, taking such constraints into account such as allergens, cleaning rules, tank capacities. Our mobile warehouse solution, FactorTrack, runs on scan guns and tablets and is tightly connected to the ERP warehouse module. All updates happens online, securing real-time consistency across the supply chain. You can configure multiple warehouse transactions such as receive, pick and pack to meet the unique workflows and inputs required to maximize productivity and accuracy for every user and scenario across the warehouse. FactorTrack handles the unique features required for the food industry to handle catch rate, ordinary unit measures, and more. The entire platform is aiming at reducing efforts required by the end user while maximizing the value and accuracy of the data points collected. If FactorTrack is all about capturing transactions, the Graphical tracker is all about querying and analyzing those same transactions. This module was designed with the objective to provide ease of use, and performance while querying high volume of inventory transactions. The aim is to provide a platform proactively validate that you can track and trace your food supply chain from receipt to shipment to your customers. If you need to perform a recall, you should always feel comfortable that you can actually trace your supply chain, that you can perform the trace and recall within the time limits defined by your customers, which is often less than 2 hours. During customer regulatory audits, then your track and trace data becomes a valuable asset in providing visual proof points for your compliant business processes. Use your data points collected and end-to-end and share in an accessible format with your customers. Incorporate critical quality inspection data points as part of your track and trace data, and this will all assist you in reduce the efforts and time to become a compliant supplier. Before we go into details, some facts. We have 130 customers deploying, implementing, or being live on CloudSuite for M3. We are supporting 54 countries. We have rolled in hundreds of improvements, supporting new capabilities and processes being valued to customers in the cloud, without them having to upgrade their solutions. We do this by working closely to customers. About 80% of all our enhancements are directly customer-driven, working closely in collaboration with customers like Intersnack and others to make those enhancements fitting real customers. If we look at areas where we have customers involved in driving enhancement, we can look at warehouse mobility using Factor Track with new ordnance unit measure support, scan to count, customer allocation rules and more. If we look at regulatory compliance, we have the new PLM for process integration, new enhancements in the procurement process, quality inspection for bulk items, graphical lot tracker enhancements and more. In the manufacturing and supply chain space, we have improvements to internal sales, consignment stock, expiry date calculation rules, catch rate enhancements, and additional transportation information. In the sales order area, we have things like recent codes for better service level analysis, credit limits on different levels than we had before to better suit for different use cases to control your credit exposure, business chain levels enhanced and added to support complex customer organizations. If we look at some specific, the PLM for process integration support you in adding a solution that supports the innovation process from ideation to launching products. It includes a project management module, which helps you orchestrate the process and accelerate the innovation process to reduce the time to market. We can handle formulas and optimize cost versus characteristics, handling nutrition claims, allergens, and secure the label generation with accurate information on those labels. Internal sales help you support the process when buying and selling between two different legal units in your own organization. Instead of using the old distribution order process, we now use a purchase order and sales order process, providing more capabilities and a more robust solution for those processes. Procurement from procured manufacturers will secure that you will actually place orders and receive goods from approved and certified manufacturers. If we look at the supply consignment stock, it helps you in the situation when your supplier is actually owning the stock all the way when it's in your inventory. You're delaying the point of purchase and payment of a stock until you actually consume the stock. So while it's sitting in your stock, it is at zero value. And with this new capability, we can handle that within the standard capabilities in M3. If we look at the future, the roadmap covers usability, capability, and industry enhancements. Usability across Factor Track to drive productivity and accelerate and secure that we capture accurate transactions in the warehouse. New user interface for M3 will enhance the usability and the way we can design our processes in M3. Capabilities extending the scope and support for new countries help you expand your organization to new geographical territories. The integration between PLM for process, Infor supply chain planning, Infor EM, and Infor WMS are continuously being improved and making more robust. Core industry enhancements like retrospective trade agreements, central process procurement flow, and so forth are being introduced in our core products. Specifically, retrospective trade agreements is very necessary and very important for our food industry customers. It supports complex rebates, bonuses, trade promotions, and commissions, all the way from establishing an agreement, handling the debt accrual so we can secure accurate financial statements, handling the life cycle of regenerating those agreements, handling the claims and settlement process. The last item I would like to mention is the Sublot support in FactorTrack. It means that we are now rolling out the Sublot concept, including cash rate support, into FactorTrack so we can capture those detailed case level transactions inside FactorTrack.
You heard all the investments we made in our industry-focused CloudSuite solutions. I will give you a brief overview on the investments we're making in services to help our customers realize the value and take advantage of all the innovations we're making to the product. Last year at Inforum, we launched Infor Agility with one sole purpose: provide faster time to value for our customers. I'm happy to share that we made tremendous progress in the last year. We had 3 key tenets when we launched Infor Agility. 1, we never start a project with a clean sheet of paper. We always bring Infor's point of view for that industry to help customers get started with the project. Second, we focus on giving quicker wins or go-lives to our customers, embracing agile principles versus big bang and prolongated projects. Third, go-live is just the start of the journey with our customers, not the end. In order to make those tenets successful, we've invested in a few things. We launched next generation implementation accelerators that comes with industry process models, tools, templates, methodology that goes with it, and also automated testing, tasks, subscriptions, task services, so that our customers can quickly regression test our applications. We also created a very unique framework called 60-30-10. This framework allows our customers to look at all the business processes that are needed to support their business, yet focus on the processes that are most critical for them. We firmly believe not all business processes are created equal. So the 60-30-10 framework helps our customers focus on the 60% that are core, that they can use out of the box or adopt out of the box, and then really focus on the 30, which is configured or tweaked, and 10 that are unique. We've successfully used this model. In fact, some of our customers were able to achieve 90% out of the box using the 60-30-10 framework. We know that Go Live is just the start of the journey, so we created managed services offerings to help our customers once they're in the cloud to continue to take the innovations we're putting into the product. In addition, we launched Infor Process Intelligence, which allows our customers to measure, to monitor their business processes with their actual transactional data, and then assess the processes that they have to continue to improve, automate, and do a continuous improvement process. Finally, we've invested and trained several Infor and partner resources, and we continue to train them so that they can come and help our customers take advantage of all the investments we're making in Infor Agility. Thank you for your time.
Hello everyone, I'm Fabio Tiviti. I'm the Vice President for Southeast Asia. Our industry team has an impressive track record of working with leading food and beverage producers and distributors so they can stay ahead of the competition. Industry-specific capabilities are crucial enablers for this and must be available proactively. The industry drives these developments as explained during this session. Today, we've shared with you some great examples of Infor customers that turn business challenges into a competitive advantage, using the Infor platform and industry capabilities, for instance, by using data from the supply chain to get a more accurate supply chain and reduce food waste. These are practical examples of how Industry 4.0 can be put to work for you and proof points of the value of the data. We encourage you to work with our industry experts to spot potential outcomes and work on a roadmap for your digital transformation journey. From development through product management, services, sales, and our partners, we are committed to your success. So thank you, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.